Hi everyone, this is my public advocacy video for my Speech 145 class at the University of South Carolina. Today I will be arguing that the Department of Education should not be defunded and should not be dismantled. Um, the Department of Education does not just oversee lesson plans. In fact, they really don't oversee lesson plans, although that is what a lot of people believe it to be. The Department of Education has a number of programs that are beneficial, not just to children, but to families. Um, there's a lot of programs that are beneficial to marginalized communities. The K through 12 education system has a lot of Title I programs, which provides some supplemental funding to schools with high percentages of low-income students. I personally, my mother is a elementary school teacher and has firsthand benefited from these Title I programs, uh, not for me, but for her students. And I have personally gotten to know some of her students as I've gone in and spoken in her class a number of times. And they're wonderful children and they are lovely and they deserve a great education and they deserve all of the opportunities that children in a better financial situation have. However, they are not afforded these without the Department of Education programs. Um, they also provide a lot of funding for programs for students with disabilities. I personally have benefited from this, and I can say that I personally know a lot of people who, without the IDEA program, which is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, without that act, would not be getting an education right now due to their disabilities. Dismantling the Department of Education will cause many students with disabilities to lose critical resources and protection. Um, the Century Foundation has done a lot of research into how exactly dismantling the Department of Education will be damaging to not just students, but the United States as a whole. Um, Lots of low income students will lose teachers within their schools and counselors. They will also cut family engagement and mental health programs, which a lot of low income communities rely on. So things like new books and classroom materials and having a good ratio of students to teachers will completely go out the window. Um, Students and their families will also lose federal protections against civil rights violations. Um, Lord knows we have so many things that happen in schools that violate civil right protections, and the Department of Education is there to protect those students. And without that, students that go through things like assault and bullying and all of that and racism and that those kinds of things are just kind of going to be left out to dry. Um, they will lose funding for enrichment programs, innovative teaching models, in higher education. This is going to be a great damage to student loan management, and is going to weaken protections for college students and colleges. Um, Overall, dismantling the Department of Education is going to be incredibly damaging, and I could go on for hours, if not weeks, about how many positive things the Department of Education does and how